Marian rallies for a 97-93 overtime victory over Edgewood. Derek Linder, just talk about the resilience of the squad here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, at half we were down 20, and we just kept believing. Like us core guys, we knew we could come back. We just had to go step by step, chip by chip, and stick together. So,
Marvin, can you kind of talk about it? How do you survive a first half? They hit everything in the first half. Just and from your perspective, when you see a team come out like that, what do you have to do to try to keep your focus?
I mean, all of us just got to keep our composure, stay in the game. Bench got to be in the game. Literally everybody. We just got to be composed right to the game.
So what's said at halftime in the locker room when you're down 20?
I mean, not too much. Like Diener knew he knew what we had to do. He yelled us a little bit, but just said we got to guard, got to get stops, got to chip away. So
Marvin, and down the stretch too. Obviously you're just freshman here, but you have no fear. You feel like you can get to the basket when you need to here. Trying to get big hoops.
Yeah, when our key big fouled out, Drew, I just knew somebody had to take over because he's gone now and we in foul trouble. So
can you kind of talk about the effort on the defensive end as well, though, because obviously down 20 you can't exchange baskets. Kind of talk about your effort on that end to get you back on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, we just had to limit their threes. I think they had 9 threes in the first half, only 1 in the second, and we just had to close out, box out, and play good team D. So.
Marvin, you want the ball, don't you, late? I mean, you got to the rack with 1.2 seconds left, and just your thought process when you go to the straight there, knowing you got to knock down 2 to send it to the extra frame.
Yeah. I mean, my coach told me, he just said, be aggressive. Just go straight to the rim. Try to get a foul or just put it up.
How big was this victory for your team in the grand scheme of where you're at in the NAC standings?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I think we're 7-6 now in conference, and we're right in the middle, so we really needed this one.
All right, Marian, in overtime, 97-93 over Edgewood. You can find out more about Marian men's basketball at saberathletics.com. Marian, 97-93 in overtime. Max Breitenbach, freshman, joins us here. Max, just your thoughts on this victory here tonight?
This is a really hard-fought victory. I mean, to be down 20 at half, having a slow start, I mean, just to have the energy to come out there and pull it out like that, I feel like it takes a lot of grit, and that just shows how much of a team we are and how connected we are, I feel like.
From your perspective, obviously you're not one of those guys that are looking to score right now, but you did a lot of things you feel like on both ends of the floor to help this team, chip away at that 20-point deficit that you had at the break. Kind of talk about what you try to do out there when you're, when you're trying to, chew down that 20-point deficit.
Yeah, when I'm out there, I know I'm not a main scorer, so I really just try to be the great guy. So I try to get rebounds, I set screens, I'm cutting. Just trying to get defensive rebounds, especially offensive rebounds. Try to cut.
You had a stretch there in the last couple minutes where I think you got a big rebound. I think maybe a good stop, and then you also got the offensive board late as well, doing the dirty work to kind of help secure this thing. I mean, even though you're just freshman to the program, you're no fear down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been that way. I've never feared anything. So, I mean, coming in here, I just know that I'm capable of doing stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean.
Okay, you had a bunch of kids from Kohler here, your former teammates, because obviously Edgewood had a couple as well. How cool is that to have some of your former teammates here at a game like this?
Yeah, no, that was really cool. All of them coming out, seeing all of them, because I got to play. I was still playing with them last year, so for them coming out, I really appreciate that, and that's super cool.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you so much.
Bringing in Marian head coach Drake Diener. Coach, 97-93 in overtime, rallying from 20 points down, talking to some of your student athletes. Gritty was the word that came out of almost all their mouths here tonight.
Yeah, it was. That's the only way to come back from 20 down. I was pretty upset with our overall effort in the first half, and I think I'm trying not to just say this because we won the game, but there's 2 things going on in the first half. One is that I didn't think we were playing all that hard, and part of the reason we weren't playing all that hard is because every time they were open from 3, they made it. They were 9 out of 12 from 3 in the first half. So if a team shoots 9 for 12, you're almost always going to be, digging yourself a hole. But the problem is also, those shots were pretty comfortable shots for them. So my message at halftime was we had to ramp things up. We had to heat the game up a little bit. We had to make them feel a little more frantic and a little more uncomfortable. And, Yeah, the guys just grinded it back, and it was a little by little. It didn't feel like it was one thing. It was like kind of just slowly crept back into the game and made enough plays real late to secure it.
Like you said, I mean, it was a different kind of comeback. Right? Sometimes you're down 20, almost you make like a 12-0 run or something. That wasn't the case here.
No.
You get 2 buckets to the have to get stops on the other end. You get 2, they get 1. You get 2, they get 1. The next thing you know, it's 15, 10.
Right.
Got down to single digits a couple of times.
Right. Yeah, it was exactly that. And we had a timeout with maybe 16 minutes left, and we had Drew going to the line to make 2 free throws. And I told him right there, okay, if he makes these 2 free throws, it went from 20 to 15, which, we're 25% of the way back. So that's kind of the way it progressed, throughout the whole half. And the thing that I'm really proud about is there were times where, we mounted a comeback and got it to 6 or 7 or 8. And then we kind of did something stupid, or we gave up a layup or whatever we did, and they got it back to 10 or 12. And those are the moments where you could just fold up and go home and, hey, we made a good run. But we just kept battling, and it's something I've said all year about our team is that we do have a tough group of kids. Okay, we got a tough group of kids. They really compete hard. I can count on probably one hand how many just bad practices we've had. So they're just a great group to be around, and I've said it within our coaching staff from way back in September that we knew we were going to have to just grind a lot of wins. We had to be a grinding team, just trying to get wins however we can get them.
Annie didn't score in the first half. He ended up with 15 before falling out. I mean, obviously you made it a concerted effort to, you have guys that can settle for threes, but you made a consistent effort, everybody across the board, to get to the rack and kind of, force them to foul and then just, get layups after hard work.
It definitely started with Andrew. He's just really hard to stop. In the first half, he kind of stopped himself a little bit. I thought that he had 4 point-blank shots that he missed. But credit to him. I mean, he's another kid who doesn't, he's not a real vocal guy, but he's a tough kid. He's a competitor. At halftime, he was not happy with himself, I'm sure. And in the second half, he went out there to dominate the game, which he did for a real segment of time. And then, when he falls out, obviously that's a huge weapon for you, both offensively and defensively. He's a really good defender. So for us to finish that game without him, adds to the icing on the cake.
Coach, a couple of freshmen out there tonight. Marv, no fear in his eyes when it comes to getting to the rack.
Yeah.
How many freshmen out there want the ball with 5 seconds left and gonna, force a foul and get to the stripe and then knock down 2. And then Breitenbach, came in. I think he had a couple of defensive plays and a huge offensive rebound after he missed a couple of free throws.
For sure.
Secured.
Absolutely. It's amazing to have those 2 guys as freshmen. They're both just continuing to get better. In the preseason, there was questions on both of them. It was the normal freshman stuff, like, some things that they really had to improve on and had to adjust to, and they've done it really well. Max then had an injury in the middle of the season, so he's kind of just coming back into form. But yeah, I mean, Marv's a problem for everybody, and Max has a massive rebound. He actually, he gets rebounds. He had a couple defensive rebounds that were kind of right at the rim. He scored a basket in overtime. He had a great overtime. And again, I'll reiterate, that free throw rebound was a killer. And I know as a coach, when you give up one of those late in the game, it's a horrible feeling. But I'm just happy we were on the right side of that one.
Last one for your coaches. This, in the grand scheme, where the NAC standings are, this was enormous. For you.
It was absolutely enormous. I was extremely nervous for this one. You always are, but. Edgewood, if you look at the standings, they're lower on the standings, so, you're supposed to win the game. But after watching them on film, I just really like the way they've been playing. They got a bunch of guys that can shoot the ball. They set a lot of ball screens. They got good guards. I knew it was going to be a tough game for us. But, yeah, to get us maybe a little separation, our goal always at the beginning of the season is to make the conference tournament. And so that's going to remain our goal until we put ourselves in a position, maybe, shoot, if you win a few games in a row, hopefully you go into the last couple games aiming for a higher seed. But right now, we're just thinking about getting ourselves a chance to get in that conference tournament. And once you're in there, then it's 3 wins to play in the national tournament.
Coach, Marian rallies from 20 down at halftime to beat Edgewood in overtime. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate it, Wade.